What's going on, y'all? Y'all know who it is. Welcome back to You Ain't Black.
And you ain't black.
You Ain't Black.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about today?
What up?
Got to talk about that big tech censorship that's going on.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
ridiculous.
I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it.
Come on,
it's getting
now.
out of hand. It
Really?
really is. You know, I had an account deleted before, but with this new account that I have, I've been doing pretty well, pretty successful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to get 20,000 views on a good view. I mean, on a good, post. And usually consistent basis, you know, like 5,000, 8,000.
But how much of that is actually just because you're not that popular anymore?
That's true. That's
No,
true.
I'm just-
Dang,
I could
what
not be
a
popular at
goodness,
all.
but-
Damn, he's coming out hot. He's coming out hot. He's coming out hot.
Be kind, rewind.
Well,
Lord
it's
have
like when
mercy.
Kevin Sorbo was like, "Oh, they're not calling me in Hollywood anymore because I'm Christian," and I'm thinking like, well, you're also 52." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, in my defense, you know, conservatives being censored all
by the way,
across
I
all
totally
platforms.
love you, Sorbo. Don't get angry at me.
Hey,
no
you the
flame.
man,
I love you.
Hercules.
Yeah, no, but I'm seeing my views. It's going down to like 300, 500, and it's like, wait, what?
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are coming up talking the same thing. I've seen accounts deleted. Like we already talked about it before. You
Happened
know
to
what?
Charlie Kirk yesterday.
And that's
See?
crazy. See?
Of all, what do you have, like 1 point something million?
Yeah.
Come on now. I mean, how is
And
that
all
possible?
he does is like post George Washington memes. You know, like,
That is so racist. That is so racist. You can't do that. You can't do that.
How dare he? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, keep doing that, bro. Your biceps are looking rocking.
Yeah, I know. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the reason why I'm not up there and I'm over here is because he makes me look too skinny.
I'm sorry.
I said, you know what? I'm tired of
sorry.
standing next to this man.
Oh,
I
that's
ain't
funny.
standing next
That's
to you
funny.
no more.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, we're talking about the censorship, but like, I've kind of wondered, what is the fix for this, dude? Like, what is the fix? Because they've tried to use these antitrust lawsuits in order to break it up, but they keep dancing around that. What is it like? Not Rule 37 is on the internet. Well, I can't remember the name of
Yeah,
the
I know what you're
regulation,
talking
but
about, but I don't
protects
remember
them
that, yeah.
as being a publisher versus a platform
Yes.
and so on and so
yes.
forth.
Which they.
And at this point, I'm sorry, but I blame Republicans. Republicans have the Senate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like
Come on now.
Republicans have the Senate.
Speak on it.
Okay, and I really think the First Amendment is an issue big enough to everybody. At
Yep.
this point, the fact that some kind of basic, simple freedom of speech rule hasn't been put in, who is dragging their feet?
Yeah, no, that's one. That's what I disagree with the Republicans about,
Yeah.
because we're not like some cult. We're not some cult that we're just like, this is it. This is the. And no, the
Yeah.
Republicans said what? I think they said, yeah, we're going to do something about it, but after the election. Like, wait a minute, that's the same rhetoric that Biden
Biden's
says
exactly.
when he
Pack the
talks about
courts.
packing the courts. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, no, you're being sent like. The reason why Ted Cruz is moving against it is because he's been censored himself. If he was never censored, he wouldn't be doing none of this. Just like with Trump, they censored Trump, and now he's trying it. But
Actively.
everybody else that doesn't get censored, they don't want to talk about it because it's not me. But sooner or later, it's going to be you. You know, just like that saying of first they came after the Jews, but then there was no Jews, so
Now they
there was
come
no one
after
else
you.
to help. Exactly.
That's how, and that's exactly how it is. We got to be proactive when it comes to this sort of thing. Like you said, it will eventually turn back to us. We're to all the conservative base. We got to do something about it right now.
And you know what? I don't think it's really left or right anymore, even though they're censoring on the conservative basis. But it's just basically just telling the truth, questioning the agenda, challenging the narrative. That's basically what it is. And it's a modern day book burning. It's a modern day book burning.
100%. 100%. But I would have to say that it is definitely a conservative thing, because you don't see many people on the left getting censored.
Exactly. It's one-sided.
Or getting shut down.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, not in the past 50 years. You know, yeah. I mean, we did a number with McCarthy.
Well, I think the most
saying? But,
recent
like,
one for the left was what was that? The anti-Semite. Goodness, I can't remember.
Farrakhan?
Farrakhan, yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah, that was
yes,
that was
indeed.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was
That was the most recent one. But those come a dime a dozen. I mean, those come are pretty. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare
Okay.
when it comes to conservatives. Oh, you better believe it's happening on a consistent basis. Like we just said, with someone as big as Charlie Kirk gets censored,
Yep.
gone just
Yeah.
like that, there's a problem.
There's
when
a
you're
big problem.
censoring the White House, when you're censoring the President of the United States,
Yeah.
there's a problem.
And it's out
Yeah.
it's out and open, and no one even really has a fuss about it. I mean, we do have a fuss about it, but it's like it's not the number one topic, and every time it pops up, it's just like, oh yeah, well that's just their platform, that's what they do. Like we need to move to our own platforms at this point. If there's no legislation, we need to go back to those URLs, our own websites. That I mean, sooner or later they might ban websites, they might start censoring URLs. You don't know.
This rate.
But at this point, why are we still on the platforms? I know that they're the giant. I get that. I get that they're the giant. I mean, I'm on it, you're on it, we're all on it. But we really have to have an honest conversation that there's not legislation being passed. Then we need to go back to our own URLs, our own websites, and promote our own things on that way. Because at this point, why even try if they're going to censor your voice?
I'm just so distracted by your super racist T-shirt, dog.
Oh, that's racist.
No,
as hell.
You're so
I love it. I
You are
love
the
it.
epitome of racism. You do realize that, right?
No, yeah.
We're gonna get. Thanks a lot.
Oh, well.
Okay, so
We're already censored. We're conservatives. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Double
So
down.
Let's just go all out.
Double down.
so the only thing I don't really get, dude, is did you guys see this interview on The View? Jill Biden, she literally said, Americans, quote, don't want to hear about Hunter Joe deals.
Oh Lord, have
And
mercy.
no, here, actually, we can play it here for a second. Let's see if we can bust it out. I'm gonna see if we can play it here really fast. And I'm not kidding you. This was kind of odd to me.
Right.
Super softball interview, which is fine. It's The View.
Of
you know
course.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
of course.
What do you
of course.
expect?
But
on the way.
I really wish
about
I could be on The View.
scandal
Shout out to The View.
involving
If you
your
had me on,
family
I'll
that-
destroy you.
Absolutely.
wait, so watch,
torn
look,
down.
watch this.
candidate. How do you feel about these constant personal attacks, and how do you respond to them?
As a mother, I mean, I don't like to see my son attacked, and certainly I don't like to see my husband attacked. But to me, these are distractions. I mean, this election is not about Joe Biden or Jill Biden or Kamala or Doug. It is about the American people. The American people don't want to hear these smears against my family. The American people are struggling right now.
I mean, this blew my mind.
There you have it.
I mean, she literally said, if this election, it's not about Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. No, what do you mean it's not about them?
It's everything.
It's all about them.
You do realize
them
that,
and
right?
Trump. Like that's all. We shut down the world for a day.
Yes.
To go to the polls.
Yes.
In order to decide who our fearless leader against the Russians, or who our fearless leader against, during the Spanish-American War, the Spanish Empire.
Right.
We're choosing our mother freaking commander-in-chief.
But it's not about him.
And you're
But
going
it's
to
not
say,
about him. No.
No, and also I feel kind of bad. Like I don't want to, just throw out Jill Biden and say world's biggest Karen. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But like, I mean, because I feel sometimes that like family members that didn't sign up for this should be off limits. But I'm sorry, if you signed up for an interview on The View, you have just thrown yourself into the public sphere. Like Melania freaking avoided that limelight like crazy. She's
got
like,
it.
I'm just the model to marry the hot, I'm just the hot model. She like straight up avoided the confrontation. For eons until they realized they're never going to treat her fairly. And now she's a freaking savage, which I
100%.
absolutely love. But Jill Biden, like, this is what blew my mind.
Yeah.
Is our
The
media
audacity.
so bad that literally they can parrot, they don't want to hear about literally quite possibly the single worst scandal since Watergate.
Yes.
Right.
That has emails. Like, Watergate didn't have emails out in public.
Yeah.
We're literally
had to
living
find
in a
out.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're living in a system right now where, no joke, imagine if the Nixon tapes were just on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
And we're still wondering about whether or not this is a scandal or
Right.
not. And I'm like, I just listened to the tapes where Nixon did something extrajudicial and illegal.
I heard it.
So
Myself.
We're not
and
searching
what
for
he
it.
did now is child's play.
Absolutely.
That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
child's play. You know what I'm saying?
It's unbelievable.
So, I mean, this blew my mind. The fact that this isn't bigger news
Right.
Yes.
blew my
Right.
mind, because right now we're literally being asked. This is the ask of the Democrats. Will you changed the infrastructure of our Constitution that in the past 250 years has lasted longer than France's 14 constitutions in the exact same time. Since 1778, when they first started actually, no, it wasn't 1778. 1776, independence. 78 was that weird, Articles of Confederation. I think it wasn't until the 1780s. All the historians are probably pulling their hair out and screaming at screaming at the TV right now. But, basically, since the end of the 18th century, I remember I was in a civics class and they counted it up. There has been 14 constitutions in France in the same amount of time that we've had one, because we have the separation of powers, and one of those separate branches of government is the judicial branch of government that has always had a Supreme Court that, yes, can rise and fall in the amount of numbers that we give it, and occasionally has, but it's generally not been a politically motivated deal in order just to get Orange Man bad out of the office. Okay?
Right.
And we've asked Joe Biden, are you going to make an infrastructural change to this thing that has lasted 250 years?
Yep.
And he's like, you're not entitled to my answer until after the election. And then his wife is out there saying, look, it's not even about my husband. It's not about my husband. Doesn't matter about his answers. Okay, is your family corrupt and going to sell out American soldiers, American jobs, and American infrastructure to our enemies? No. This is the equivalent of Hillary Clinton mocking the reporter, saying
I was just about to say that.
What do you mean? Did I wipe the server?
Yep.
Oh, did I wipe
with
it
a cloth?
with a towel?
With a cloth?
Yeah,
With a cloth?
Oh, wait, turkey? You mean like the bird? Like Thanksgiving?
Yeah. So this is the single biggest bit of news today that blows my mind that didn't happen.
Right. Because you look at what's going on right now. Now let's just put this in an alternate universe. And let's just say this is Don Jr. where this happened, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead of Hunter Biden, let's say Don Jr., you better believe on every network, 24/7 coverage, they will be talking about this non-stop. You look what happened with the Russian collusion. They came with this accusation.
You mean the Russian delusion?
Oh, thank you. I guess I didn't.
You're a Republican with your dad jokes. With your dad jokes, you know it's a Republican when you start getting these that is such a Republican thing, though. By the way, can we just talk about this? I call them porn star joke names. Do you ever notice strippers and porn stars always have these alliteration names? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like some play on words is going on here. You know what I'm saying? What did you call it? Oh, it's the Russian delusion. And you know what I'm saying? It's always we stripperify and porn starify.
Yes, indeed.
The names.
That's what we do.
Of different things, and it reminds me of not even a dad joke, a grandpa joke.
Yes, indeed.
You know?
Yes,
I'm a grandpa now. First, I went from a dad. I'm not even a dad. Now I'm a grandpa. Jeez, I went leaped over.
Goodness gracious,
Warp speed.
But hey, who's the king of it? Actually, no. Donald Trump, I wouldn't say is the king of it, because he just adds an adjective and then a diminutive.
I got you. Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Lion Ted.
He does it because it sticks. It does it
It
because
does
it sticks.
stick.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And they're talking about.
What's Jill's name going to be? World's biggest Karen?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I shouldn't rag on her. I shouldn't rag on her. She's a lovely woman.
I don't care.
The new
Get 'em.
The new angle now is that it's not about the emails. It's about who released the emails.
Right.
They did that back in 2016 with Julian Assange. And the 2000 WikiLeaks with Hillary Clinton.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't care if the Fed busts in and finds child porn on somebody's computer. I don't care if those were illegally busted emails.
That's why I was getting
that
at.
mofo to jail.
You better believe it.
And the Pentagon Papers. I don't care if a spy stole the
stole
Pentagon
it,
Papers.
yeah.
If it's true and we can authenticate the information,
Then
send that mofo to jail.
That's simple.
And that's how they're changing it. They don't want to talk about the emails. They want to talk about who sent them out.
Right.
Because they want to treat them like Julian Assange. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they want to make it to discredit him. So if they discredit him or her that released it, then they can discredit the information, regardless if it's correct or not.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at, it's funny that this whole situation, because they're saying, the accusation, there's no validity to an accusation. It has to be something more of substance.
# believe all whatevers.
Thank you. What about Christine Blasey Ford? Because that was just an accusation, right? And they ran with it. They sprinted like Usain Bolt, out the gate when it came to this accusation that had no meat to, no substance to it. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to good old Hunter Biden, no, we need more than just an accusation. We need facts. We need truth. We need verification. We
Due
need
process is all of a sudden really important.
Yeah, really important. And then there's so much evidence. I mean, I've seen pictures. I don't even think I should put it on here because we might get censored ourselves. We're already getting censored. But I mean, if I really put what the pictures that I've seen Biden with certain laying in bed with certain things in his mouth.
I disagree with most of the criticisms about Creepy Joe. I know this is kind of weird in many Republican circles, but yeah, hear me out here. If you watch the original Wings, the very first Oscar given in America, there are these two World War I pilots who were flying together in World War I, and they became brothers in arms, and their love for each other was so strong that in the end, when one of them is shot, he dies in his friend's arm. And I think it's actually the first movie that had the classic die in your friend's arm scene that like the Simpsons make fun of now. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But it was like the first one where it happened.
Yeah.
And at the end, when his friend and his brother dies, he leans down and he kisses him on the lips. Like just a full-blown kiss on the lips. And I remember when I was driven to school, I went with my principal and his son, who also went to church with us and everything, and they would kiss on the lips before they left. And I remember thinking that was weird back then because that's like the 90s, right? But every once in a while I'd see these families where it's still,
I'm good.
it still was, I know, but I look at that though and I think that heralds back to a time before we were so standoffish and we were more affectionate that I've never come at Creepy Joe for any of his, I don't even like the term Creepy Joe because I think that's a little bit of an unfair argument, and maybe I'm being too kind.
You are being very kind.
And
I've seen
the
the
rape
videos with him
allegations, we got to look into those.
I've seen the videos of him caressing minors.
Right.
He's creepy to me.
Girls that he don't know.
Creepy to me.
That's the one where I'm just like, I don't even like that we call that out because if he is legitimate about it, and Thomas Jefferson said it's better that 7 evil men go free.
Yes, that's true.
Than
That's
one
very
innocent
true.
man
That's very true.
get
We're not putting him on
accused.
trial though.
You
We're
know
not
what
putting
I'm
him on
saying?
trial
Yeah.
though.
No, let's put him on trial for the rape allegations. That I'm fine with. But the Creepy Joe thing, I've always bristled at that. I confess, I've always bristled at that. I'm a secret liberal taking over this show.
I knew it. Daggone it. I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out. Run for the gate.
Run for the gates.
Here I am defending Joe Biden.
I
Now,
don't
all
give
this
him
crap
any
about
credence,
wait
man.
until I tell you whether I'm going to pack the Supreme Court. No, screw you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like your elitist type of attitude. No. I'll tell you after I get elected. No, you're gonna tell me right now. That's what you're gonna do. If not, we're not voting for you.
You know what's going to happen is like, I know like 20 years from now when, I don't know, I'm on some debate or running for office or something, whatever, some, kid's going to, clip out what I just said and be like, that time Carnelis defended Creepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, man.
Yep. This is going in the history books. We're gonna put this locked and
that's
loaded.
funny.
We're gonna put this in the archive.
Oh yeah, I can't give him. I can't lend any credence
Okay,
to that
so
guy.
now here's the last thing we're going to talk about before we cut it off tonight. The debates are coming up. Just like literally, I think they're tonight. I will release this part after the debates so you can predict what's going on.
Ooh, I like that.
that.
I like that.
Happen.
Twist.
Hey,
Good
And
twist.
so tell me, what are your number one predictions for the debate? And we will do the before and after MAGA go.
I think that first and foremost, I think Trump is going to dial it back. I think he received a lot of feedback on his conduct during that first debate, so he's going to dial it back. He's going to be a little bit more presidential on stage, and he's going to be a little bit reserved, more like Pence. I think he's going to be a little bit more like Pence, how he did with Kamala.
Now, is this wishful thinking, or is this like what you think
Because I was
is
gonna
really
say
going to happen?
he can never be like Pence.
I
He can
don't
never be
think.
like Pence.
I think he's going to dial it back.
Yeah, he's
to
gonna
try
dial
to-
it back, yeah.
Try to mimic Pence, but I don't believe.
I think if Jesus came himself, he'd probably be a little bit more animated than Pence. Like Jesus debating righteousness and evil, I think would probably go over and be like, Kamala, daughter of mine, what speakest thou?
Pence looks at him like, "Did you really just say that?"
Pence just sits there. And by the way, Jesus would swat the fly away.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
he would swat the fly
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or actually,
Yeah.
he'd probably just like secretly command it to fly forward.
No, exactly. No, he
Absolutely.
wouldn't
You know
touch
what
the
I'm saying?
fly.
Little
He would not
telepathy,
touch
you know
the
what
fly.
I'm saying? Yeah.
He's too powerful to touch that
Yes,
fly.
indeed.
You know, but see, yeah. So is that wishful thinking?
No,
or-
I really believe that because he can. I do believe he has the wherewithal to be able to hold himself back a bit. I'm not saying 100%, but a bit enough to exude that presidential standard that he needs to put forth. But it is a little bit of wishful thinking as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna freaking front on this. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about President Trump, guns a blazing, President Trump. I'm hoping.
Okay, so what do you think? Ken,
Now,
hit it.
I think that the commentator is not going to bring up Biden, Hunter Biden, at all. This is not going to happen. I know that they're going to talk about it.
Dude,
Trump
that's
is going to.
true. Trump's probably gonna
Trump
be
is
the
gonna
first
bring
one
it
that
up.
brings it up.
He's going to
Yeah.
bring it up
Yes.
when he realizes that they're not going to talk about it. He's going to bring it up himself, but they will not bring it up. I promise you that. I put money on that.
Yeah.
They
I
will
bet
not
you.
do it.
I think it would be smart if Trump came out. Charlie Kirk said something interesting. He said Trump needs to just start
I
calling
saw
it
that.
the
I
Harris
saw that.
administration.
Yep, I saw that. I saw
Which
that.
is true.
Brilliant.
100%.
It's brilliant.
But at the same time, I think if he just came out and opening statement said, how do you respond to all of these serious corruption allegations with credible and corroborating evidence? Did you or did you not sell out X, Y, or Z? And the fact that Trump is bringing up that Bablinski guy, what's his name again?
Yep.
Bublansky?
I forget his name, but the
Boblansky? Whatever it is.
I can't pronounce
the
He's
it.
bringing
associate,
the
the
oligarch.
associate of Biden, Hunter
Yeah,
Biden.
he's bringing the oligarch, right? You know? And this reminds me
He might even bring up China too.
a
Hey.
little
He might even
bit.
bring
Yeah,
up
it
China.
reminds me a little bit of when the Trump team and Steve Bannon in 2016 brought all of the women that had accused Bill Clinton of RAPE.
Yes.
So that when all of a sudden they started asking him about Stormy Daniels or asking him
Yep.
about McDougal or whatever her
Start
name
pointing
was,
to the crowd.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? He literally, I just remember when the first questions came out, I remember he crossed his arms and he was like, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3.
Here we
And
go.
he didn't get to 4 before the girl to his left was like, why don't you go ask Bill Clinton that question? Why don't you know? And it was just like Flight of the Valkyries.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
But no, Trump-
I'm wondering if he's bringing that Boblonsky guy just to pull a 2016 again.
Right.
No, he's definitely. That's the reason why he's bringing it.
There you
And we all know he's going to win, but I think it's going to be so lopsided, just like how it was before when they kept interrupting him constantly.
Right,
Now that they're
right.
muting it, it's going to be ridiculous. We're going to see that on a whole nother level. That's what I truly think. But at the end of the day, when he gets his little licks in, it's going to be hard
hurt.
ones,
They're
and
gonna
you're going
hurt.
to see the bias. Obviously, we do see it, but like I said, they're not going to bring up Hunter Biden. And if they bring up racist one more time, it's just gonna show the both sides. And at the end of the day, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if our predictions came out right. We're
Well,
gonna see.
I 100% think that the Democrats just don't care anymore. The Democrat operatives,
They're doubling down.
The moderator, they don't care that they're coming out as staunchly against Trump. They don't care. It's the cat's out the bag at this point.
Exactly.
You know, so it's gonna be 2 against 1 again. You better believe. And
With a mutant microphone too. With a mutant microphone too.
thank you.
and I got to tell you, dude, I'm really curious to see what metric they bring forth to measure the muted microphone experience.
Right.
In the regular debates on the Democrat side, for example, it was nuts. The New York Times would have these graphs that in real time would show the speaking hours. I remember Andrew Yang was like
yeah.
totally on bottom with 50% of the speaking
Right,
time anybody
right,
else got.
right.
And, there was proof that he'd had his microphone silenced by
Right,
NBC and so on and so
exactly.
forth. I'm really curious to see what kind of metric the media tries to put forth to at least fake that their execution of the microphone is going to be fair. What are they going to say? Like, number of seconds microphone was put down on each candidate. I want to know what metric they're using so that this is executed fairly because to me, by adding a microphone, you are literally, and this is for Democrats or Republicans. This is not just because Trump is in the ring. I know he talks too much, and honestly, sometimes he goes too far for me even. But at the end of the day, that is the skill set of a politician.
Yes.
Right.
That
yes,
is
that's
the
very
saber
true.
rattle
got it.
Yep.
of a politician. And to all of a sudden say like, oh, no, we need this is like affirmative action of debating.
I
You know
love
what I'm
that.
saying?
I love that.
Purposefully handicapping the one that is better at X, Y, or Z talent.
right.
This isn't
compete.
golf.
Exactly.
You know,
To
this isn't
compete.
golf where it's
Right.
like, oh, the guy, you know, Tiger Woods, look, your handicap's 7 points.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Once you make it to the TPC course, you're competing with Tiger Woods.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm curious to see what kind of measurement they come out with, but that's mine. I think they will heavily censor Trump in
big time.
comparison to
absolutely,
Biden.
absolutely. And I can't wait. I can't wait for it because it's going to show they're going to double down even
Yeah.
more. Like we already know they doubled down, but they're going to
Mm-hmm.
double down again, and it's just going to show the voters. It's going to be amazing. I can't
But
wait for
I
it.
really don't think, again, I really don't think they care. I really don't think that they care to
No, they
even
don't.
try to hide the fact that there's going to be some type of discrepancy. I really don't think they care.
All right, sweet. So we got to crash. What's the name of our show?
You ain't black.
Woo!
Mhm.
Well, I'm not.
Neither are we. Don't worry about it. Neither are we. We're not voting for Joe Biden.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not black.
That's funny. That's probably going to get us censored.
And you ain't black.
You ain't black.